Well, hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today for July First Friday event. And it's titled today, Tools for Tomorrow, Exploring Skilled Trades. My name is Kristen Blanchard. I am a counselor here at the Livonia office. Before we begin and I introduce our speaker, I'd like to go over just a few important points and tips for everybody. The first thing is that we have muted your microphones and turned off all your cameras. That's just to prevent any accidental disruption so we can all focus on the presentation. Secondly, captioning is available by clicking the Show Captions button in the Zoom webinar. Please use the question and answer feature within Zoom to ask questions, and we will address all of those at the end of the presentation. We'll give about 15 minutes for questions, and then, but without further ado, I would like to I'm pleased to introduce our speaker today, Miss Cassandra Vaughn. Cassandra is a graduate of the University of Michigan with a degree in communications. She is the co-founder and executive director of trades programs for youth and adults. Before starting her own business, though, and starting that venture, she worked as a booking officer at the Washtenaw County Jail and also spent 24 years in advertising, which is awesome. She's been married for 32 years and has 2 sons and a granddaughter. Cassandra is deeply committed to community service. You are going to definitely be able to understand that by the end of this presentation. And we are eager to hear the insights that she will share today about skilled trades. So go ahead, Cassandra, take it away.
First, I'd like to thank Michigan Rehabilitation Services, which is through the Department of Labor and Economic Opportunities, for their kind invitation for letting me participate in First Friday's presentation. It's an honor, it's a privilege to be in front of all of you this afternoon. And a special thanks to Kristen. Kristen, who is out of the Southeastern Division directly in Livonia. Our nonprofit has worked with Kristen and really several of the MRS teams to help clients learn and develop skills and potential workforce and development in skilled trade industry. We have done ETS job exploration counseling with individuals and groups, along with giving clients a workplace readiness training that has been included on on-site job shadowing. Also, we have also had the pleasure to work with the MRS office in the Flint area. So I'd like to say hello to them too. Second, I'd like to congratulate C Guide Adams, who's recently been announced your new director at MRS. Congratulations and best wishes. And you have a great team, Ms. Adams. I'm just telling you right now. Lastly, referring to MRS as a great team is an understatement. I know that all the rehabilitation counselors, managers, and consultants do a great job, and they're truly dedicated to help the MRS mission, which is to help develop workforce solutions and opportunities for individuals with disabilities and bring more diverse and inclusivity in our workforce community. I know this personally because my son is 26 years old. He's a special needs and adult, and at 16 years old, he was one of your clients. So I am coming in a way that maybe a lot of vendors and presenters don't. I have a special thank you to the people who do what you guys do. I want to thank you personally, and I never thought I would have this opportunity. I want to thank each one of the MRS staff as a family member who you've helped and really helped my son find his goals. I would like to take this opportunity, which may never come again, to thank each one of you who have gone through the journey with us families of special need people. However, it is counselors and placement officers like you who shows compassion for people in our family. So thank you for your understanding for what I consider a misunderstood community of people, those who have special needs and who want to work in a way in the workforce. Thank you for helping them find their spot. On behalf of all the families and people you help in your workday, I want to say once again, thank you. Now, I could end right there, but the Livonia office would probably never invite me again to come speak at First Friday. So I better transition real quick. If you look at the first slide, you could see right there what we're going to be talking about is tools for tomorrow. And at this time, you would hear a sound of a drill. When you hear drills, you kind of think that something needs to be fixed, that there's something that needs to be made better. And today, our conversation, next slide. Today, the problem that I want us to discuss that this afternoon that needs to be fixed is that there is a skill trade gap that exists all over the United States of America. Wait just a second. At this time, I would like to talk about the skill trade gap that's challenging and many people are finding in the skill trades gaps in the fact that there are job opportunities. The shortage of skilled trades has a negative impact on our workforce. It's believed that the top three factors contributing to trade labor shortage in the United States is number one, aging workforce. Many skilled tradespeople in the USA are approaching retirement age, and there needs to be more young people entering the trades to replace them. This means that as older workers retire, there needs to be more young workers to fill their position, or we're going to have a problem, which we really already have. And I believe that our clients at the MRS could help fill that gap. Second, the perception of skilled trades is one of the other reasons. A lot of young people in the US or people in general feels like the trades is an outdated perception, believing it's dirty, it's physically demanding, and intellect is not needed. This perception has led a lack of interest in pursuing the careers in trades, which has contributed to the labor shortage. The other reason that we're hearing more and more people are considering college. But you know what? That's changed a lot. The emphasis on a four-year college education for decades has been decreasing. As the only path to success in the USA is not true. Many young people believe that getting a bachelor's or a master's degree is the only path to success. Well, we want to inform them it's not. A shortage of skilled trades people really could help that community that college is not for everyone. This has led to vocational schools opening up. This has led to more apprenticeship jobs. This has led the industry of skilled trades to open their arms to look at them as a possibility as opposed to college. Next. The overemphasis of a four-year college education has led to a significant problem of student debt. Many young people who have pursued bachelor's or beyond have taken on considerable a lot of debt, which can limit their ability to achieve their financial goals, such as buying a home or starting a business. This debt can also limit their career options as they may be forced to take a job that pays even just enough to take on their college debt than to pursue a career. However, a recent article in the Pro Tool Review suggests learning a trade can be a valuable, rewarding career path. Trade labor is one of the best ways to be truly successful, less stress, less investment in education, and less debt afterwards, and has proven to be rewarding, especially for people who like being creative, who like coming up with answers, and that's part of our community. Next. Let me take this time right now and define skilled trades, and let me explain why. I'm Cassandra Vaughn, and our organization Trades Program for Youth and Adults. As you can see there, our mission, which we've had the pleasure to help MRS clients, we provide practical classroom and hands-on instruction to educate and train and introduce individuals to building and construction trades. We also promote more character, ethics, and soft skills. Trade Scouts is very similar to Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, but you don't learn camping. You learn tools and the careers involved in it. That is a program that we've had for the last several years for our middle schoolers. Trade Camp is dedicated to our high schoolers. It's actually takes students and teach them about the trades in an outdoor environment. We call that getting your hands dirty. This past season, we had a camp that showed students who were 16 all the way to 19, how to revamp cabinets, how to actually put cabinets up, and how to work with power tools. Next. But we designed, when we met MRS, a special program. This program is called the STEP program. This program was dedicated to building the image and understanding of skilled trades to a community of people who may not have given this opportunity. We were hoping, and we still are hoping, that as we introduce MRS clients to their capabilities and skilled trades by job shadowing, understanding tools, helping them meet employers who are open to working with special need adults, we actually give that experience, and it has been wonderful. One of the students that we've worked with, Kristen actually allowed us to meet, was a young man who just graduated from college and he wasn't sure what he wanted to do. And he thought about being a barber, which, by the way, is skilled trades. Trades program for youth and adults zooms in on construction and building. But let me make this clear. Skilled trade is real estate. Skilled trades is cosmetology, medical billing. All of that is skilled trades. So what is interesting is we go to our community of MRS clients, and no matter where they are on the spectrum, we introduce the idea that the skilled trade industry could be for you. Next. Another solution to the skilled trade labor shortage is more business and unions are investing in training and programs of apprenticeships. By providing on-the-job training and education, business can attract and retain skilled tradespeople and ensure they have the skills needed for their career. Many of these training courses pay as you learn. By offering training and education opportunities that do not require significant student debt, businesses and vocational trade schools can provide an attractive alternative to college and pay very well as they attend. There are local programs and trade training opportunities like Access for All, which is right here in Michigan. Through Workforce Development Institute, that operates as a construction training program to help individuals 18 and over become apprenticeship ready, and sometimes can even help them choose the best skilled trades program for the individual. Students can go on tours at unions like the Millwright School, and there are places like Detroit Job Corps, which is also in Flint and Grand Rapids, where students can go and learn about skilled trades. Now, many community schools have buildings and construction classes and certificates, for example, in safety inspections, energy specialists, landscaping, welding, HVAC, electrical, and plumbing. One of the things I want to share with you is when we came with trades program for youth and adults, it really has become a personal passion. Let me explain. My husband worked for U of M Hospital for 35 years as a carpenter. In those 35 years, he was really surprised how non-diverse people in the trades were, as he met tradespeople that the hospital hired to fix things or his coworkers. He went and decided to get his master's. He's been retired for 2 years. And right before COVID, he actually got his master's. And his study was actually on the skilled trade gap in Generation X and Generation Z. The study was actually on why aren't more young people considering skilled trades? One of the answers he came across when his professor challenged him was, Lori, why do you think they don't? My husband's answer is because the schools have taken out the old school woodshop classes and home economics. His answer to this situation was to create in the schools things that will introduce students back to woodshop and understanding it. And that's how we came about trades program for youth and adults. After he retired, we actually looked more and more of how we can introduce skilled trades to young people. And that's where our passion came. It was our son who made us really realize that the trades was for anyone and everyone. And that's how we also came about talking to more businesses, which we continue to do, about allowing people who are very diverse in their abilities to be part of the skilled trade market. I want to stop for a moment and define vocational opportunities and skilled trades, who we are and what we do. I want you to understand the following. Without home service businesses and the skilled workers who carry out these roles in our homes, our businesses, we would depend on them to keep the world going. Whether it's the plumber you call, the roofer, or maybe it's just the Comcast person who comes to put your system together. Skilled trades is a benefit. The nuts and bolts is, let's review. Number one, trade schools are cheaper and shorter than most colleges and universities. Number two, there's plenty of jobs for the taking. Number three, compensation. Many trade jobs are learn and pay as they go. The other thing I want to mention is in regards to our ALICE community. Now, if you've never heard about ALICE, let me explain what I mean by ALICE. The ALICE community are the people who accesses are limited in income in their constrained employed community. That's people who are working and bringing in income, but they still are below the level to bring in enough to make a living. More than half of the people who are part of the ALICE community are part of our disabled community, disabilities in the US. They work, but they're still struggling. It would be a help to that community to introduce them to skilled trade opportunities. Next. According to Jobbers data, more than 22,000 services, 60% of tree care businesses, plumbing, and those earn about $1 million a year. A friend of ours who is a kitchen designer doesn't come to anyone's home without the kitchen being over $80,000. We have another friend who's an elevator operator, and he starts off with 6 figures easily. How much can people in skilled trades make in Michigan? The average skilled trades pays about $25 an hour, if not more. This is a very lucrative field. I want to say over and over again, I think that if more people would consider skilled trades, we would see our economy be stronger and the opportunities being bigger. 2 things I want to emphasize that we emphasize here with Trades Program for Youth and Adults. Skilled trades can be a beginning career, 18 years old, start off painting to gain money to go to college. It could be a middle career. Maybe you start off thinking that you wanted to do one thing, and now you're kind of processing. We've met people in their 20s who stopped life, got into the skilled trades just to regroup and then turn around later on and do something different. We've also met people who were 40 years old and decide, I like working with my hands. I like learning. I like fixing things. And it was their career later on in their life. What I like about skills trades is it has the capability of being a beginning for a person who just gets out of high school, or have the ability to be for someone who's been in a different field and just want to do something different. That's what we introduce to people in regards to skilled trade opportunities. Next. The potentials in skilled trades for people living with disabilities are very diverse. For example, physical disabilities, even though you may not be able to move around and do things, maybe you're in a wheelchair, there's still the great possibility of ordering supplies. There's still the possibility of medical billing specialists. We know a gentleman who is blind, but he's an auto mechanic, and he does a great job and he loves his career. Hearing impairment doesn't stop you from being a landscaper, a welder, or lab tech. One of the things that's always exciting to me is the males and females who are working in this field. We're seeing a lot more females, Kristen, coming into the skilled trade area, especially electrician. For example, many women are realizing that the electrical part of the business can be with wiring. It could be a situation where you come in and learn about HVAC, which is heating and cooling. We are seeing that the skilled trade employers are opening their doors and doing a lot in apprenticeship um, ways to help people who may be limited in their skills but willing to learn. Example, water treatment. Another one is energy. The whole green community is a great market for many people to consider skilled trades, no matter what their capabilities. I mentioned that our son was a client when he was 16 years old, and that many of his cases have helped him with his job. My son has been told, who now works at Sam's Club, and he's going into the tech school. We've been told over and over that his ability to work with details is amazing, just like many people in the special need community. Once again, this skill level that is being opened up is for everyone, males, females, and our community of those who have disabilities. One of the jobs that my husband told me that was very important at the University of Michigan Hospital was what's called a safety inspector. There were actually people who went around and their responsibility was to check fire extinguishers, exit doors, and anything else that OSHA, which is a federal government organization that goes into places to make sure safety is never an issue in that facility or building. One of the other things that we're introducing to many people is called facility maintenance. When we think of maintenance, no disrespect, a lot of times we're only thinking about dumping waste baskets, but facility maintenance is even more than that. There are people who actually, like my husband and his team, keep the buildings going. The building that you are in right now, you want to go home in a hurry or have to stay out of the office? You let the plumbing have an issue in that building. There is someone who will come in to correct that. Facility maintenance is a huge part of skilled trades. I don't care what building you're in, there's needed a crew to keep that building going. I was amazed when I found out that the University of Michigan, whether it's the hospital or campus, they have their own cabinetry department, people who actually make cabinets. The funny story was in my husband's study for his master's program before we actually founded Trades Program for Youth and Adults, he took a group of high schoolers to the University of Michigan Hospital. He took them to the emergency area. And he said these words. He said, let me tell you something. If these doors in emergency don't open and your loved one is on the other side and the doctors are not able to open these doors, it can make a big difference. And he went on to explain the nurses and the doctors are important, but there's also a team at the hospital to keep that facility, the doors opening, making sure things stay operational so patients and clients are able to stay in a safe environment. The other thing that we did, and I was there too, is we took a group of students to the stadium at U of M, to the big house. Many of these students had never, ever even been inside. And they were able to meet the team of people who Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, keeps that stadium going. The joke is, no way through a Michigan and Ohio State game would the bathrooms not be working at the stadium. No way. So once again, facility maintenance is an important part of the skilled trades. And it's one of the things that our clients can be introduced to, and we work hard to tell them about. When I look at this situation, I want you to understand that our responsibility, whether it's a vendor, a family member, or just someone who is totally caring, there is a big world, and it doesn't always have to include a four-year degree. The other things that we want to let our clients know is, for example, The Americans with Disability Act. That includes protection for employees discrimination, making sure that no one's discriminated. These opportunities are being opened in the skilled trades, and they understand that. The other one is a program called Ticket to Work. It is a program that is funded by the government and is dedicated to assisting people with disabilities for securing and keeping employment. Skilled trade industry are looking more and more to respect our community of people and help with special trainings and capabilities. Job Accommodation Network. That is a national organization that comes in and help workers who may need a higher desk, they may need a sound system and things of that sort. We have talked to 4 to 5 companies that have done things like this to help people with disabilities become part of their workforce community. Next slide. There are already people with disabilities working in the skilled trade industry. In no way do I want to make it sound like they don't already exist. I put this circle graph in here to show you. There are already people that are working in the skilled trade industry. Transportation, for example, a large group. Then there's production, like in the shops and things of that sort. Then there's construction, and then there's repair, maintenance. And of course, farming, fishing, and a lot of people don't realize that, but farming is skilled trades. There is many industries that are already taking advantage. And by the way, I want to continue to say, I think the advisors at MRS are doing a great job. It was made that was Skilled Trade Month, and that was a great feature in the newsletter. Also, Autism Month. Those are things that our community needs to know about to celebrate the fact of diversity in learning, diversity in career opportunities and people. The young man that you see over there, his name is Zach. We worked with Zach about a year and a half ago. Zach was interested in skilled trades, but really wasn't sure. So our team worked with him to help him find some possibilities. One of the things we introduced Zach to was roofing. I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't know, I would say about 2 years, the way many roofing companies now do quotes is interesting. I actually had a company come over to give me a roofing quote. The young man looks like he was no older than Zach, maybe a little older. He gets out the car with a Mini Cooper, no ladder. I'm looking at him, I'm thinking, I don't see hiring him. And then he pulls out a drone. It goes up in the air. He looks at me. He goes, would you like some pictures of your backyard? I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm so impressed that he has this thing going up in the air, already taking the measurements of my roof. And then he looks over at me and he goes, this should be in your email the next 5 minutes. Anything else you need? I went, nope, I'm all set. And he gets back in the car. And within 20 minutes, I had the quote, the measurements, and pictures. I think we need to understand something. Skilled trades has changed. Whenever you get a roof quote and the person doesn't need a ladder anymore, oh my goodness, technology. Those were some of the things we told Zach. Zach decided that what he wanted to do was to go into being an electrician. He actually went to Access for All, learned about it, and was getting ready to start an apprenticeship program. And he was in a car accident. Not quite 20 years old, and he lost one of his legs. They had to be amputated because of the car accident. We literally were so, devastated with him. We talked to Zach. He's doing really well. He has embraced his new way of living, and he's still interested in skilled trades. He's going to become a building inspector. Yep. He's sticking with the field, and his plans is to become a building inspector. And I am 100% convinced that he's going to do a wonderful job. as a building inspector. Once again, the capabilities in skilled trades are large. One of the things, if you've been following along with the newsletters from Leo, the Michigan Department of Transportation, MDOT, has opened up career pathways in many programs. That is another skilled trade opportunity for clients and people. That is inside the state of Michigan. The other thing I want to mention is the fact that up in Howell, Michigan, there is a wonderful program for people interested in being crane operators, all the way to knowing how to actually fix cranes and machines. Many of the times that when we talk about skilled trades, I think that we limit ourselves by just thinking about people who just paint or people who have the construction signs in the road. It's a way bigger field. And I think that when we talk to our clients, we need to talk to them more about that opportunity. No disrespect for college, as we always tell our students, but college is not for everyone. Some people love working with their hands, or they can learn to appreciate the art of working with their hands. Next. When I talk about skilled trades and why it's important, the first thing you're going to hear me say is you can't go where you don't know. One of the things that we are doing is exposing career opportunities by job shadowing. Whether it's General Motors, whether it's companies like Ford, there are many, many great opportunities in skilled trade. Trade schools are opening up more and more. As you guys know, we have our own, MRS has their trade school. By the way, I love their website that actually said a trade school for those people who have disabilities. We've had the pleasure of taking our son up there, who is 26, and he plans to take some time off from his degree at EMU. He's actually going to college. He's in his third year at EMU, and though it's taken him 6 years, he is actually going to go up to the tech school and look into a trades program there just to take some time off. There are vocational and trade schools all over the United States to consider. Our team of people help your clients understand more and more how that can happen. Introducing clients to the potentials of skilled trades is interesting and fun. I want to say over and over again, the career profile assessment that is done by a lot of them helps us as tradespeople, or should I say, as people helping those in the trades, really take advantage of that opportunity. Just want to review what we talked about in regards to clients and skilled trades. I want to overemphasize the fact that our ability to get clients to even consider skilled trades will come from open conversations about it. There are many clean jobs in skilled trades. There are many capabilities in regards to special needs people getting special trainings in these fields. I'm just going to list a few: painting, masonry work, supply ordering, drafting, carpentry, low voltage electricity, water treatment, boiler work, safety inspector. And when we talk about services, cosmetology, barbering, medical billing. There is also a field that is called sterilization, hospital sterilization, once again, skilled trades. And once again, making it a very well paid position for someone who may want to learn as they go. I think the solution to skilled trade labor shortage is more businesses and unions investing in training programs and apprenticeship for those who are on the spectrum of autism. And we're seeing that more and more. There are local programs in regards to learning different trades, but look also at your community schools. They are very much open to this. A lot of community schools, colleges have workforce training and development. Um, and it's just a great opportunity. In conclusion, I want to thank MRS for allowing me to talk about not just trades program for youth and adults, but allow me to talk about the fact that there's so many opportunities available to our community of people who may see and work and see life differently. Once again, you can't go where you don't know. So as we in the workforce development talk more to our clients and other people, I think the solution will become very, very easy. That gap can be closed in that way. Kristen, do you have any questions or anything that I can elaborate and we can talk about more?
Sorry, I did want to check and see if we had any questions in the
Oh,
chat. It doesn't look like we do, just have some enthusiasm about how awesome technology is because it really is leveling the playing field, especially the introduction to artificial intelligence as well, and how that's really going to impact our customers. I'm really excited to see the technology just expand even more. So it doesn't look like we have any questions, but I do have a few questions, if that's okay with you.
yes, yes, and let's
Um,
do.
Okay. So in your experience, are employers becoming more open to neurodivergent employees in skilled trade industry? How have you found the reception of businesses?
Mhm. One of the things that I'm really excited about is that our wheelchair community of people have really found that they have a place in this skill. When I tell you that we know of a auto mechanic who is blind, we also have seen more and more people get involved in the electrical, whether it's plants and things of that sort. The
Mhm.
other thing of it is we know this for sure. People with autism, I know this as a parent, are very detailed. So we're seeing more and more of people getting involved, for example, welding and things of that sort. Employers wants the skill trade gap to be closed. And they're looking in those unique places. You'll see it on social media and things of that sort. So yes, more employers are being more open that their training has to include taking time out and customizing what that future employee needs. And by the way, a lot of these trainings are taken between 3 to 6 months. And even if it's a special need person, they even realize that it even takes longer. There is a lot of apprenticeships that are doing job shadowing and things of that sort.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
And let me state one more thing, though. I think that's
Sure.
really important. When you go to the millwright schools and talk to people in the union, that is an important aspect that you understand that the unions are more open to this. But what is really important is that client or that person needs to first know their skill sets. That is the most important thing, is that the union or the employer and the special need person work together on their skill sets and come together with a lot of great possibilities. Safety is an issue whether you are a mainstream learner or you have a unique way of learning. Safety is an issue with any employer. So I think what's important is we don't let that be a deterrent to our community of people for that workforce industry.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. One of the things that I did want to ask you was about are there more females thinking about building in construction trades? Have you seen an increase in the
Yeah,
females wanting to
yeah.
participate?
Yeah, so let me start from that. Remember I mentioned the fact that we do what's called trade scouts with middle schoolers, right? You should see the girls who are signing up for our classes and they're coming on board excited to get into their tool bags and learn. One of the projects we've done was a giant Jenga and we put it together sand. We've built dog houses. We are seeing more girl power in that, starting off that young. And then when you go to the high school camps, absolutely. So yes, more and more. But let me explain something. Electrician, we are seeing more women, for example, who are divorced, changing careers to be electrician. Why? Where do you make a large sum of money in that time to send your children to college or to help in some way when you're a single parent or maybe a parent who has to be the big breadwinner. We are seeing women stepping up and being interested in skilled trades. Now, my mom was not a handy person, but secretly neither was my dad. It wasn't until my husband came involved in our family that everything got fixed. Now, Kristen, are you a handy person? Are you a builder fixer?
No. I could use one of your camps, actually. I do have some questions in the question and answer actually about some of the things we talked about today.
Sure.
The first question was, is there a list of resources of trade schools in Michigan that you have or you could provide? A
Oh,
list?
yes, I can provide. Now, I want to let you know, we came across four. And of course, our MTCI,
MCTI, yes.
MCTI, that was one of the top ones. So yes, I can give you a list. There won't be a huge list of them, but one of the things there is a huge list is apprenticeship programs.
Mhm.
The place that I want to, and I'm grabbing it, and hopefully it is called MUST Construction Careers. In MUST, please look at it's in the state of Michigan. It's Michigan Union Structure Technology. They have a lot of great opportunities. Just look them up. MUST construction courses and careers. That is a great place to go to find out what apprenticeship programs are out there. There's more apprenticeship opportunities and on-the-job training than we'll see in actual schools. But once again, our school does a really good job too.
Yeah, thank you. And the next question was, which students qualify for the trade scouts and trade camps?
Oh, you know what? That is a community program. It's just finding an area. Right now, we're doing some things in Ypsilanti and in the Flint area, and we're hoping, yay, to do more in the Livonia area, things of that sort. So one of the things you can do is if you go back to that page, and Kristen, I will give out my email, and I can always tell you where we're having the different camps and things of that sort. But let me say this over and over. When we work with MRS clients, it's that camp feeling because we literally help them explore and look at career assessment, profiling. And we've been known to go 4 to 5 different trade shadowing and things of that sort. So whether it's our camps for middle school or high schooler or our STEP program, our STEP program is really that diamond that gives people the opportunity to step into the career, experience it, and then come back to, like Kristen, you, and actually say, hey, that felt good, or et cetera.
Mhm. Yeah, I found that the hands-on is really beneficial, not just for finding out what they want to do, but also what they might not want to do.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
that's just as important, you getting that job shadow experience is so
Yep.
cool. So I think that that's
Kristen,
really
one of
good.
your clients, it was really exciting. He had the opportunity to be with someone who actually designed bathrooms and
Mm.
drafting all the way. Your client, when we first mentioned, would you be interested in following a bathroom designer? I'll never forget. He was like, I don't. Then after an hour and 30 minutes, he literally looked at us and go, wow, there's a lot that goes into a bathroom design. And he talked about drywalling. And before we knew it, he was talking about, I really never even thought about it. So once again, experiencing it. Now, this is another thing. A lot of clients may want to do volunteer work to see if that's a possibility.
Yeah, that's a good way to kind of get your feet wet and
Mhm.
see if it's something you like.
Exactly.
Um, we have another question that says, is this program only available on the east side of the state?
You know what, right now, but we're expanding more and more. And once again, we'll share our email and things of that sort, and we're doing more. But right now, we're working with Livonia, we're working a little bit with Flint, and we plan to expand out too.
Okay, great.
Now,
Um,
Kristen, here's my question. Ready?
yeah. Oh gosh.
When we got on board to do this, ready? I was really surprised how many of your clients are daring like this. Do you see that as an advisor? Do you see that as a counselor? Are a lot of your clients come to you to talk about skilled trades or not? What are you seeing?
I think it's becoming more and more apparent that students are wanting to go this route instead of college. Yeah, I've seen it definitely pick up a lot with the high schools that I work with. Yeah, so I think you kind of it's just the perfect time for, organizations like yours to, be so prevalent now, because this is really where students are kind of starting to head. So I think it's a great way to fill that gap, like you said.
Yeah, and we're
Um,
seeing parents being more supportive too, because a lot of times as a vendor, we do have the opportunity to talk to parents and things like that.
mhm.
What's exciting to us to see family and friends and community helping change the image of skilled trades.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the pay is
Oh,
something that I think
yes.
students kind of forget about. You can
Oh,
make a really
yes.
great living in
Yes.
trade, and that kind of piques their interest a little bit too, so
Right.
that's good.
And we're not anti-college. I mean, my husband has a
Mhm.
degree. I have a degree. We're not anti-college, but we are finding your spot.
Mhm.
And for some people, that's the big thing in California. They're finding that more and more people, because there's so many universities, they go for 2 years and they stop. But now they've got this debt. And California's workforce development has done a really great job of what they call transitioning career. Okay, you try college, try and many people can pay off debts by going into the skilled trades, even as a painter.
Wow.
Mhm.
I liked I want to get to a question too, but I do have a statement to say
Go
when you
ahead.
talked about how it could, some people go into trades right out of high school. Some people want to try it out to pay off, maybe a college that didn't work
Mhm,
out, college
mhm,
experience that didn't work
mhm,
out, or they go into it, as a different career option that they never planned
mhm.
going into in their 40s or 50s, and
Yeah.
kind of rediscovering what they love and what they're good
Oh,
at.
yes.
And
The
that's
home
really
channel,
cool.
the home channel, Kristen, the home channel motivates me.
I know. You love it, but it can, yeah, too much sometimes, too much creativity going on. We have another question. It says, would post-secondary students, so 18 through 26, be eligible for trade camp? So is there an age requirement or anything like that?
Not so much for the camps, but a lot of them are high schoolers. But what they could do is be part of, especially if they are MRS employed, they could be part of the experience program, the STEP program to experience. So yes, to answer the question, our trade camps right now are dedicated to high schoolers, and those recent graduate will push up to 19. But right now, the experience is just for high schoolers and 19. But remember now, when you look into the STEP program and the person is with MRS, that's for anyone. And we've done team things too. As you know, we've actually done we've done in-class programs, and we've done after-school programs, and we've done individual workforce development.
Yeah, I like that. The individual, I like that you
Yeah.
offer all those different options depending on the student and the school and everything.
Mhm.
Um, so one last question. I know we're getting near the end of our time. I just wanted to ask, so how can MRS collaborate with vendors like yourself to get students more interested in trades? I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but what do you think the key is to get students more interested in the trades?
Well, one of them, we use your career scope profile. We
Mhm.
found it to be very useful, but I also know that that your counselors are using other things besides that. I think the hand in hand goes when you are looking at the client and saying, "Hey, let's talk about your interests." What's amazing is some people don't even realize that their interests can actually lean into their career. And so the hand-in-hand support is, please do more of those career profiles and provide it to us as vendors, and that kind of opens the door to it. Um, we have had students who literally said to us from the MRS program, you know, I'm a little nervous. And what we do with those students right there is we do videos. We show videos on careers. We show that everyone, especially my husband, don't have to get on a ladder. Mm-mm. You can do a lot of things on the ground. And we haven't talked about this, but cement work and things of that sort. And people don't realize it is there's some great careers in drafting.
Yeah, I've never thought about that actually. A few of the things you mentioned today were things I never really thought of as a trade. So
Yeah. Uh,
I think you've taught a lot of us a lot of new things. So thank you.
here's my favorite. Ready?
Mhm.
Commercial landscaping. Big, big. If you thought indoor plumbing was going to be big, oh, Commercial landscaping. We are introducing students to the fact that a lot of these facilities, buildings, that beautiful things the plants you see outside, whatever, maintaining that is someone's career in regards to that.
Yeah, I have a lot of students that love being outside, outdoors, and that's a really good avenue for them to have a career that they love, and also they can make a good living too. We have another question. It says, although the programs are directed at youth, would it be an option for individuals that are on the certificate track in school in Michigan? So maybe they don't have a high school diploma, but they're on that certificate
Yes.
completion.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when we talk about GED or the certificate or diploma, absolutely. I see that community, I see that group of people on the same level. Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Well, those were all of my questions, and it doesn't look like we have any additional in the question and answer area. So, Cassandra, I just want to thank you so much for doing this. I've worked with you with a customer already, and you have gone just above and beyond for him. And I think I'm really glad that he chose to work with you, because I think you've really blessed him, and he's a great student, and I'm looking forward for his future. But thank you so much for doing this and
Oh,
sharing so much
thank you.
information. And
Thank
you
you.
know, if anybody has any questions or wants to get a hold of Cassandra, you know, all the information will be sent out via email. You're also able, if you need to reach out to me to get a hold of her for any reason, feel free to do that. But thank you so much for your time today. And
Yeah,
we will,
our team loves working with MRS. And when I say team, whether it's our team of trade professionals or whether it's our assessment coordinators or what we call our job travelers, where we actually take students on the job, we love working. We love what you're doing. And once again, as a person who was blessed by your services, I appreciate the fact that your vocational concerns for our community really makes a difference.
yes, we appreciate you too, in your heart for our customers. So.
Oh, yeah, definitely so. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, thank you all for joining today. And I hope you all have a great weekend, and we will see you guys all later.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.